Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Monday, December 17, 2012. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's jump right into the charts here. We'll start off with the usual S&P 500 E-mini futures. The futures this morning are trading higher by about 5 points. It looks like the market did have a quick little sell-off around 5 o'clock in the morning, and they have since rebounded up a little bit higher. CNBC does have David Tepper on this morning talking up the markets a little bit, and I think that's why you're seeing this little bit of a pop, at least in the morning. But we'll see how this plays out once the opening bell rings a little bit later. Again, keep an eye on the U.S. dollar index today. Dollar is trading higher by just 3 cents. Not really that big a deal, really a flat open for the most part. But nonetheless, if the dollar catches a bigger bid or a higher bid, I do think the markets could come under some pressure. But generally on Mondays, the markets are somewhat on the quiet side. Usually lighter volume will help keep the markets buoyant. So we'll see how that all plays out and shakes out going into the opening bell, which is still over an hour away. Let's take a look at a few other things here in the market. We'll start off with gold. This morning you do have gold trading down about 5 points to $1,692 an ounce. Let's take a look at the GLD this morning. The GLD, you'll see, is trading around $163.79. On the closing price on Friday was $164.13. So gold is, GLD rather, is a little bit lower, and spot gold, as we said, is down $5. So again, if the dollar gets any kind of a bid, it is possible to see gold go a little bit lower. In my opinion, gold falling is a sign of deflation, so you always want to be a little bit careful there, especially when you see gold selling off. It's telling you the markets are really under a little bit of stress and are not inflating as normal. Let's take a look at oil this morning. Spot crude, light sweet crude I should say, is down 8 cents to $86.66 a barrel. The USO, which is a good proxy for light sweet crude, you'll see here, is trading down just a touch to around $31.82. It closed right at that price on Friday. So again, no change on the USO, and light sweet crude is just lower by about 8 cents at the moment, so not a big deal there. Again, oil and gold both usually trade inverse to the dollar, but we'll see how it plays out today, as gold is down a little bit and oil is basically flat, down just a few pennies from Friday. So again, we can't make too much out of that at the moment. Looking at some stocks in the news, it's a rather quiet day overall. You do have some stocks out here making news, but really not making any big movements in the market ahead of the opening bell. Apple had some wild volatility this morning, trading underneath $500, but it has since rebounded, now trading around $508. So again, just expect Apple to trade in this range, I think, for the most part. I have a hard time seeing it really crack below 500 with any conviction, at least so far this morning, but that could happen later. So you'll have to watch Apple once the opening bell rings, see how it's playing out. Some other stocks in the news this morning, I believe, were Akamai Technologies. This one was starting to make some movement, and then really I just didn't see a whole lot there. I'm not sure what the news was, but Akamai really right now is sitting at 39 bucks. Can't make too much out of it. I do think it's a bit overbought on the daily chart, so be careful there. Texas Instruments is also in the news. I think this was downgraded today. Stock is trading at $30.44 in the pre-market. Not much volume behind it there, but nonetheless, it's really not that much of a change from Friday's close, which was $30.50. I don't really see much else out here as far as gaps are concerned this morning. I usually look for large gaps and things of gaps that trade down more than $2, but I'm really just not seeing it this morning. You have a few gaps here, but they're very, very small, so there's not a lot going on before the opening bell. But the markets are still being pumped up, and that's all really that matters. We are about a week away from the Christmas holidays, so again, volume could get a little bit lighter. I don't think that's the case this year with the fiscal cliff hanging over us, so I think traders need to be on their toes. This coming Friday, which is also the 21st of December, is going to be the monthly options expiration, so I think traders really need to be cautious. It's also um, the December contract. So expect some volatility this entire week. I think we could be in store for some extended volatility, and I think traders want to be aware of that. So you're going to get a lot of game playing by the institutional traders. Watch for a lot of rumors. Watch for a lot of upgrades and downgrades that are kind of, in my book, frivolous. But you'll get a lot of upgrades and downgrades to move stocks, and that's just something that we typically see going into options expirations. So just be prepared for that. But overall, I don't see much strength in this market, and that's really the bottom line. So we'll see how this thing plays out once the opening bell rings. There is not that much to today's report as far as stocks go. I just don't see the strength in a lot of different names. But either way, any way you slice it or dice it, we'll see how the market plays out once the opening bell rings. Keep an eye on the U.S. dollar index. It's extremely important. With that said, everybody, I'd like to wish you all a great trading week, and I'll see you on the charts in a little while. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.